She was quick to go and tell mother if there was something that wasn't quite lining up, and so normally that involved me, talked to and making sure that I was, doing what was right.
Jill wasn't necessarily a tattletale. I think she was more just trying to keep us accountable and make sure that we did what was right.
Other people love to be around her because she's like the ultimate best friend.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I was just watching a wedding video and now I just feel like dancing, but it was a Duggar wedding video and so you can't dance at the Duggars weddings. And welcome! It's June 22nd. Do you ever have those days where you just feel like giddy? I don't know if I'm so much as giddy or if I'm just silly tired or if I haven't slept in 8 years. Any other parents out there literally never sleep? I can't remember the last time I actually slept. It's been like a hot minute. Welcome back, everyone. We had an update about Josh Duggar's case. That video was actually kind of long, and I was like, so reading court documents is always just like not my fave, but I know you guys love this topic right now, and there's so many stories that we are unfolding, and the Duggars were always a part of this channel, and we always talk about them anyway. So there's just so much going on right now. And I wanted to address these things because there's a few things that happened yesterday and I started getting messages from people and I was like, well, let's just do a video about it because I don't know. If I feel like if I don't say anything, then people are going to be like, keep sending me messages, right? So there was a rumor that started yesterday. I think someone on Reddit, I believe, found a Instagram page and it was for Jana Wisman, okay? And people noticed that this account was relatively new and it says Jana M. Wisman. So Jana Duggar, Jana Wisman. So people assumed that she and Steven, who we've never formally announced is even dating her, were married or getting engaged or something. Let's kind of unpack this because first of all, when it comes to Duggar relationships, it's never black and white. And we don't really ever know, for instance, if a relationship is something that is true or false. We've had to do a lot of deductive reasoning, and obviously I have people I talk to and yet to have any confirmation about this relationship, even though it on the surface looks like one. There's also this whole umbrella idea that Hannah Wisman, who is his younger sister by like a year, happens to be dating or courting Jeremiah Duggar. So a lot of times, I've gone back and forth about, is she courting him because people allegedly saw a photo of them maybe sitting by each other at the wedding, or they think she was in, Nebraska for for Memorial Day weekend, which again, we've not confirmed. In fact, everything I know is that she's been in Arkansas and continues to be in Arkansas. She was just seen in Arkansas on Father's Day, and people in the area had seen her out and about around the time of Memorial Day. So people just, I don't know. But when it comes to fake accounts and trolling, this is so hardcore, like it's serious. This is how it works in the Duggar world. In fact, if you go and look on Amazon, there are wedding registries for Jana from 2017. I'm not kidding, 2017. So Jana Duggar has been allegedly married multiple times at this point. And I don't think, okay, Claire Spivey kind of changed her name to Claire Duggar, but that they were like engaged and we knew about it. But I don't know that it's conclusive evidence that you find a account on Instagram that says Jana M. Wisman and you assume that it must be real. There's always a lot of assumptions when it comes to things that we don't know, and everyone wants to connect dots, and we want to make sure that something's there, and people find videos and they think that, well, obviously. So when you go through Jana's follow list on her Instagram, on her verified Instagram, which by the way, I don't think she would start a brand new Instagram, being that her current Instagram has 758,000 subscribers or followers. So this idea that she would somehow change is kind of ridiculous to me. She's more likely to just keep it and maybe update the name, but which you can do on the Instagram. When I'm looking at the people that she follows on her Instagram, I don't expect there to be like a lot of jumping out at me, but there's a random SMB account that looks like it might be one of the Duggar socks or someone with a sock account. And then Jessa, Ginger, her sisters, a bunch of the Bates, her brother-in-law, Laura, the Gaines, Peter Query. I don't see a single Wisman on here. Now, I just don't see this. I don't see a new account under Jana M. Wisman as conclusive proof that she has created a new account because, again, it makes no sense for her to create a new account because she has an account that's literally got, I don't know, 750,000 followers. Why would you abandon an account just so you could save this account? Makes no sense. So I would more along the lines of say that this is 1,000,000,000% a fake. So we always have to just be very careful about this stuff. And I still am not 100% sure that they're actually dating. I don't really know. And to be honest, until there is conclusive evidence, it's just going to remain a rumor. Now we know that Jeremiah and Hannah Wisman are courting, and that could have explained why Stephen and Jana were together on Christmas. It could have explained why they've been seen around together. It's just tricky. And I feel like right now people are in a position where they're trying to attach anything to this idea that they're together, and I just don't see it yet. But again, I will let you know as soon as I know. This to me just seems like not an issue. So in terms of their engagement, I don't think so. Okay, so let's go on to Jill Dillard because we have a little bit of tea here. So Jill Dillard or Duggar, actually, yesterday was her 7-year anniversary. Can you believe that? 7 years. They have been through a lot, by the way, in their 7 years. So they got married in 2014. And in that time, they have had 2 children. They have done missions trips and lived in Central America. One of their friends was tragically, abruptly, his life was lost while they were in Central America, causing them to flee. It was very dangerous for them, and she came back when she was still pregnant with her second son, Sam. And she has left counting on. The scandal broke a year after they were married. She was pregnant with her first child. She had to confess on Megyn Kelly to what everything. Confess seems like such an awful word because she shouldn't have had to confess. She wasn't really confessing. She was just acknowledging that she was one of Josh's targets as growing up, and spoke out about everything that she had gone through and how she didn't feel like she was a victim. And then after she is doing damage control for mom and dad, she is they cancel counting on, and it's Jill and Jessa counting on, and then she has her second child, and you get to a position where you're like, all right, here, let's see. Then they quit counting on. Then they have to sue Jim Bob. Then they get shunned from the family. So just put this all together. That's a lot in 7 years. You have gone through major scandals. Like surviving a major scandal for a celebrity is hard enough. But then if you have to survive that in your first year of marriage while you're pregnant, can you imagine the amount of stress that's put in? Then couple the fact that Jill and Derek come from polar opposite worlds, where Derek went to public school, has a college degree. Jill has a homeschool education where it's not a good education. It's the ATI. Girls' educations are sorely neglected, and she was basically groomed to be a mother and a wife. That was it. So she survived all of that, and they're still married. They've gone through counseling. They go through counseling due to a lot of different issues that are in their marriage, having communication problems being the way that she grew up as one of them. But on her Instagram, she actually had a super sweet tribute that I wanted. Then she pointed us to watch her wedding video, and then I saw this video by Josh, and we'll get there in a second. So on her Instagram, she wrote this. 7 years ago today, we said I do and became husband and wife. Swipe to see pictures. I could have never imagined at the time all we'd face together, where we'd be now, but I'm forever grateful for you always by my side. Thank you for being my man and loving, leading, and through thick and thin. You're my bestie for the resty. Also, for any of y'all who love watching weddings, I reposted the link to our full wedding video in my stories, so check it out if you want to relive our special day with us. And she got a ton of love from people. She got happy, sweet 7. You've both been through a lot together. I love you. It's only made you two stronger. And that was actually from Amy. And she got some responses from some of her friends, but interestingly enough, Amy was the only family member that said anything. Let's see what family members liked her comment. We see Jessa, Derek, and Joy. And yeah, so Jessa, Derek, and Joy. Interesting. No, nothing from Ginger, nothing. And then her parents reshared the photo onto their Instagram stories, telling them happy anniversary. So, okay, none of her siblings say anything. She has this sweet tribute to Derek, and then she wants us to watch the wedding video. So then I found the wedding video, and I noticed, like, I don't know, like 48 minutes or something, Josh Duggar takes the stage and he starts like talking to people about what the rules are for the wedding. And I was like, this is so gross. Listen.
Jill and Derek's testimony and what they're doing is just phenomenal. I was sent out here not to give you a speech. As many of you know, I'm in Washington now, and so we happen to do that frequently. The use of any form of social media to describe your activity or presence while attending this event is strictly prohibited, okay? In other words, there's only certain things that you can or cannot do, which would include no taking photos, no taking videos, no taking anything like that. Here's the point that we're making. This is a very special wedding ceremony today. There's a lot of things here that are going to be very much treasured for years to come. We will make this as beneficial as possible to Jill and to Derek to make sure that all of those memories can be preserved. So therefore, we have asked that you don't take any photos in this building. But no, there's a number of things you can and cannot do, and we want to make sure that you're not doing those. So please don't take photos, videos, or anything. Everybody got that? How many of you understand you're not supposed to take photos? No video. How many of you don't understand the question so far? Okay, I saw you out there.
And then he also walked his mom down the aisle. Can you imagine? Now just like take a seat here. Get your popcorn. I have just some thoughts here. Can you imagine being Jill Duggar and the guy that did bad things to you is giving a speech at your wedding, making all kinds of jokes, and walking your mom down the aisle at your wedding, and you are one of his targets? Are the Duggars really this dense? Do you think Jill has any regrets about that? Do you think when Jill looks back at her wedding, do you think that it's sort of stained with this idea that Josh was so heavily involved in it? Or do you think she's just like accepted where it was? If you watch back, not only to her wedding, which was their first kiss was so awkward, by the way, but it's pretty amazing that these two have survived, being that they didn't know each other very well when they got married. Because if you remember, they had most of their relationship abroad because he was in Nepal doing mission work, and they get married. They have all this stuff blow up right in the first year of marriage, and you've got this brother who, by the way, someone sent me photos of them like hanging out with him back in 2017, and I was like, oh, so in 2017 they were having lunch or dinner out with Josh and Anna. So it was fine for a while until it wasn't. So I don't know if therapy has helped her sort of establish that I don't want to be around you anymore. But then if you watch the Being Jill episode, which is really, really like, it's like before they get married, and Josh is like talking about how Jill's like the tattletale.
You know, kind of always make sure we were sharing and that we were being kind. And then she was quick to go and tell Mother if there was something that wasn't quite lining up, then being, you know, talked to and making sure that I was, you know, doing what was right.
Jill wasn't necessarily
Crippling,
that.
if you think about it. So he's front and center in her sort of conglomerate, like in her all about Jill kind of, we're getting ready to send you off to the world, and he's like, my girl or my sister is a tattletale. Well, we all know what she told on. And then he's front and center at the wedding, and then he's walking Michelle down the aisle. Like, at what point do you think it got to a point for her where she was like, I cannot do this anymore? Because she was even wishing him a happy birthday this year. And I don't know that Jill wouldn't not wish any of her siblings a happy birthday, to be honest. Like, I feel like Jill's the kind of girl that is just got that kind of heart. Like, she loves everyone. And that's literally what I always hear about Jill, is just that she is the nurturer. She loves everyone. She is like, loves all of her siblings, took care of them. So I wonder sometimes, like, what was the breaking point? And was it Derek that wasn't okay with it once everything came out? And then it sort of made this rift. But then Derek is out having lunch with him or dinner in 2017. I don't know. I have a lot of questions here. And when I watch this back, knowing now that he's like, no TV or no phones or no cameras. And I'm like, dude, you couldn't even follow your own rules in real life. So Jill and Derek, congratulations on your 7 years. You guys have been through way more than a lot of people will ever go through in a lifetime, and you've withstood the test, all of these tests. So I wish you another happy 7 years and many more after that. And I wonder, tell me what your thoughts are about this. Do you think there was a point when Jill was just like, I'm done? Or do you think it was Derek that was like, this is not okay? Or like, what do you think was the turning point? And now it seems like with everything that's come out, she's like really drawing the line in the sand. And I should note that Jana Duggar did not return to wish Josh a happy Father's Day. So I think he got snubbed online. Just kidding. I mean, I'm sure she saw him. But anyways, so Jana Duggar, likely not engaged. Jill's wedding is ew because of Josh. And what do you think the turning point was for Jill and Derek when it came to Josh? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.